Hello everyone, I am back again. I have two more ATCs that I have done for Halloween. So I'm going to do the first one now and maybe later this year the second one. I'm showing you some materials that I'm using. Distress inks, papers from Tim Holtz. These are stamps that are also from Tim Holtz and from Graphic 45, and some ephemera. It's all about Tim Holtz today. That was not intentional, but I do think that he has a lovely Halloween stuff. So first I'm going to put down this Halloween tissue paper. I'm doing it with a glue stick, but you can also, of course, use a gel medium or something that you've got that you prefer. I love my glue stick because it's quick and easy. This is the Tim Holtz Ideology collage paper, and it's the Halloween series, of course. And I'm going to put it down and use my, well, this is a jelly print. Yeah, I don't know what it's called, seriously. But I use it instead of a credit card to smooth it out just a little bit. And then I'm cutting it to size. And I use that little slither that's left on my roll maybe later, but I tear that off and put it in this little box of scraps. I love to save all my scraps and jelly plate prints. These are jelly plate prints from with tissue paper, and some tea bags. Well, everything that you might like as much as I do. And you can use really what you have lying around. Just choose things that you would otherwise throw away. Some more ephemera in this little box, and I'm choosing some small items to go on this little card. This always takes a lot of time because I am so indecisive on what to use, so I take out several things and I might not use most of it, but I love almost everything. So just go around it and I watch and look closely. There are some like this one. You'll see that one later because I'm using only a part of it. So you can just cut it up if you want to and then just use it. So now I'm going to make the background a little bit more interesting, and I'm using black gesso, just a little spatula, but you can use anything you like to put on top of your card, and I'm just randomly putting it down. It really doesn't matter that much. I use gesso because when gesso dries it has a little bit of a grain. Don't know if that's the right way to say it, but you can write on it if you like, and it's pitch black. So I prefer to use gesso for this type of work. And now I'm using this beautiful stencil, and I'm going through it with a baby wipe. And I find that some baby wipes are very wet, so I tend to, before I start working, I am pulling one or two out of the package and letting it dry just a little bit, because otherwise I find it smears too much through that stencil. So this was a semi-wet tissue that I used, a baby wipe. Now I'm drying it quite firmly. You can see it looks matte when it dries, and you can go over it with virtually anything now. So that's why I like using it. It just gives a little bit of more interest to the background. Now I'm going to put down my collage papers, and you know me by now. It's just a little bit difficult for me to don't think too much. So I'm trying just to put it down randomly. And sometimes, most of the times, I do make some groups of papers and ephemera first, and then I glue it down on my substrate or what I'm using. So this is an old picture. It looks like my grandma just a little bit, and I'm going over it with my scrubby. This is just sanding paper on a little block, and I'm just going to age it a little bit more because it was way too shiny for my taste. So now she has some scratches. on her face. I don't mind that much. So I'm using, this is Distress ink, and this is, I think it's ground espresso. Just a little bit of a dark color, and just go over it a little bit. Now you see that there was that little witch word that you see, just using a little part of it. I make this little group. I just tucked some papers behind each other and stack them, and then just go over it with a little bit of Distress ink to make it look a little bit more vintage, and then just try and position my little piece on my ATC. And I don't want to lose too much of the background, that beautiful tissue paper. And I really wanted to use a pumpkin, because pumpkin for me is Halloween. So I stamped these on tissue paper, as you saw in the beginning. And I thought about using it, but if you put it down like this, it will just not be visible that much. So I thought about gluing it down on that little piece of paper that I've got in my hand now. And I thought, okay, that might work. So again, my little glue stick. And you have to make sure that this is a very soft glue stick. It doesn't, sometimes when you use a glue stick, you get these little clusters of glue, and it bubbles, and you don't want that. So this is very soft one, so it doesn't, it works very well. Let me say it that way. So I'm just gluing it down and then just cutting it with my scissor. And then you can see if I put it down, then it looks just a little bit more, it's just a little bit more visible. That's the way I should say it. So look, here it is. Better, isn't it? But it's still a bit too bland, but you'll see what I do with it later. We need to glue that one down as well. And this is an ATC that I'm not giving away. So if you do ATC swaps, I'm in an ATC swap group, then I glue it down with gel medium, because you don't want it to come off when you send it away, so or when you trade it with another one. So you make sure that it holds very well. And glue stick, I don't know how it will hold up when the cards are months or years old. I don't know, but this is one for my own collection. And I got a lot of my own collection. I didn't trade until recently, and if I trade, I make new ATC cards. I have a hard time getting of parting with my old ones, so that's why I create new ones. Now I thought I might just color the pumpkin a little bit, and I'm using my Derwent Intense pencils, and you see I have a little swatch there on the left side, and just choosing a few colors to use for my pumpkin coloring. And you see that the stamp is already has some dark places as well, so you know that there the shadows need to go there. So that helps you a little bit. So I'm just going to color it first and then go over it with my water brush. This is a new water brush. I have an old one and I really loved that one, but it was, well, not doing its work that well anymore. So I bought myself this is a Derwent one, and it has a very soft bristle on it, but I like using it for smaller pieces like this, but not for it is a little bit too soft for my taste. So and now I'm just going over it and make sure that I don't have any hard edges. I'm just using it to shade just a little bit around my pumpkin to make it stand out a little bit more, like you see there. Just put a little bit of the black Inktense pencil around my pumpkin, and I'm going over it, and that gets rid of the white edges of the pumpkin as well. So and just use it to create a little bit more shading. And almost done. So of course the word stickers, I really love these little small word stickers that are on the let me see, let me get it for you to show you which one this was. This, I think it was Curiosities, the latest one, but it has different kinds of uh, sticker books, chit chat books, I don't know how you call them, but I really love them. And so now I'm deciding on what to do even more, because the edges of my ATC are not that pretty, and I wanted something to stick out on top of that photo of that lady. So I found this this word, and I really wanted to use it. So I thought, okay, this matches with the witch. So you can see I'm just cutting it and then just using that word and then tucking it on the back of that photograph. It was way too empty, so it needed just a little bit. And you see what I mean. If I put it down, it just gives it a little bit more interest, like that, the spinster witch. Now, and then again, the edges are white and some of the background is coming loose, so I need to glue it down on a black background so make it look prettier. And then that white edge of the ATC bothers me, and you can see that I pulled down a little bit of the background there on the upper left corner, and just used my distress ink to go and colorize a little bit, using my distress tool to make it a little bit more like a rugged edge, and then go over it with my Inktense Derwent. No, Renje. That's not correct. It's a distress ink. Ground espresso. And then I'm done. So everyone, thank you for watching. Hope you liked it. If you did, just leave a comment or a thumbs up. And I will see you next time. And thank you for watching again. Bye bye.